Mr. Speaker, next to interpolate the sponsor, I move to recognize Representative Antonio L. Tino of ACT Teachers Party List. So move, Mr. Speaker.
The representative from ACT Teachers Party List is now recognized.
Maraming salamat, Ginoong Speaker, Ginoong Sponsor. Hindi rin po ako tumindig ngayon upang mag-interpellate dahil wala pong silbi ang pag-interpellate sa sponsor. Sumasaludo pa tayo sa kagalang-galang na sponsor, si Congressman Alvarez, sa kahandaan niyang ipagtanggol ang proposed budget ng Office of the Vice President kahit yun mismong Vice Presidente ay malinaw na walang interes na ipagtanggol ang hinihingi nito sa taong bayan. No? At ito po ang mahalagang punto. Lubos po tayong nadidismaya, katulad ng kasama nating si Congresswoman Laila De Lima, sa hindi pagharap sa Kongreso ng Vice Presidente. At hindi lang po lubos na nadidismaya, kinukundi na po natin ito. No? Dahil ang importanteng punto, ang proseso ito ay ang proseso kung saan ang mga opisyal ng gobyerno ay humaharap sa Kongreso upang humingi ng pahintulot na gastusin nila ang pera ng taong bayan. No? Ito po ang kahulugan ng deliberasyon na nagaganap nitong mga nakaraang linggo. Humihingi po sa taong bayan, no, dahil gagamitin ang pondo nila ng kanilang opisina. Kaya ultimately, ang binabastos po ng Vice Presidente sa paglalagay pa ng mga kondisyon. Bago daw siya magpakita rito, may mga kondisyon muna, ibigay ang gusto niya. No? Ang binabastos po niya dyan, hindi lang po itong institusyon ng Kongreso, hindi ang konstitusyon, kung hindi ang taong bayan. No? Dahil pera nila ang gagamitin ng Vice Presidente. Naisa na nating tanungin kung paano niya ginagastos ito. Ditong mga nakaraang taon, galing mismo sa sarili niyang bibig, ay 18 times po nagbiyahe abroad. Galing mo mismo sa sarili niyang bibig, karamihan doon personal na mga lakad. No? Iba't ibang bansa ito, kasama ang Japan, kasama ang ilang mga bansa sa Europe at sa Middle East. No? Gusto po sana nating tanungin dahil nanggaling din sa opisina niya mismo na gumastos ng total of utilization for international travel ay 7.473 million pesos at total for domestic travel 13.207 million pesos for a total of 20.8 million pesos sa mga travel ng Vice Presidente. Dinidiin po niya ron na kahit na personal ang lakad niya at kapag personal ang lakad niya, yung pamasahe daw niya at personal na gastos, hindi daw galing sa pera ng taong bayan. Pero inamin din niya na dahil siya ay Vice Presidente, ay kailangan pong bayaran ng taong bayan ang pasahe at iba pang gastusin ng kanyang staff. No, whether yung kanyang security or yung staff ng Office of the Vice President. At higit sa lahat, Mr. Speaker at ginoong sponsor, siya lang po ang makakasagot nito, hindi po kayo, kaya hindi na nga po tayo nag-interpellate. Ang nais po nating hingiin ay ang paliwanag mismo ng Vice Presidente na kahit pa personal ang kanyang lakad, tuloy-tuloy po siyang sumusweldo, no, mula sa pondo ng taong bayan. Second highest paid official of the national government ang Vice Presidente. Salary grade 32, umaabot po yan sa almost 400,000 a month, 398,686 a month. Yan po ang sweldo ng Vice Presidente, buwan-buwan. Ngunit sa kanya mismo nanggaling, madalas ay lumalabas siya on personal trips. Ang ordinaryong kawani po ng gobyerno ay, of course, hindi pwede gawin yon. Pag ginawa yon, sa minimum, bawas sa sweldo, sa maximum, pwede pang matanggal. Of course, vice presidente siya, hindi mangyayari yan. All the more, ang kanyang obligasyon at responsibilidad na kumilos nang isinasaalang-alang ang interes ng taong bayan. No? Gusto rin po sana nating tanungin ang Vice Presidente kaugnay sa kapansin-pansin na mababang utilization rate ng kanyang budget. No? For 2025, sa 744.14 million pesos na budget ng OVP, ni-report po na sa kalagitnaan ng taon, 34.3% pa lamang po ang nagagamit. At nang tanungin po natin, nung panahon ng budget briefing, ganito po ang sagot niya. Sabi po niya, ano po ang paliwanag dito? Yan ang tanong sa kanya. Yes, marami kaming procurement na tumagal. Hindi siya nasimulan by January, Madam Chair, yung procurement. So maraming mga procurement na June, July, August na nasimulan. Yun lang po ang kanyang paliwanag. Mabagal na procurement. No? Gitna na ng taon ay wala pa raw procurement. Ang expectation po sa lahat ng mga opisina ng gobyerno na ang isubmit na budget kailangang handa ng ma-implement by January. No? Kaya mataas po ang hinihingi natin sa ibang mga ahensya. Hindi po obra yung kalagitnaan ng taon pa lang magsisimula ang procurement. Nais po sana nating i-relate sa naging performance din ng Vice President nung siya ay kalihim ng DepEd. Ganito rin po ang problema. Napakabagal na procurement. Kaya po, nung 2023, yung tanging taon na buo ang panunungkulan niya bilang DepEd Secretary, meron po siyang budget, ang DepEd, para magtayo ng 6,379 classrooms. Ang napatayo lang po ng DepEd ay 192. No? So kaya hindi po bago kung hindi tila isang padron yung napakababang utilization rate. No? And finally, gusto rin po sana nating maliwanagan sa ilang mga partikularidad ng budget na hinihingi for 2026. Particular, bakit po may kapansing-pansing paglaki ng hinihingi para sa supplies and materials, 43% increase po rito. At para sa professional services, 405% increase. Professional services para sa mga consultant. No, hindi po natin alam kung para saan yan. Gusto sana nating malaman sa kanya. Rent and lease expenses. Again, that's a 75% increase na hinihingi. At iba pa ang mga maintenance and operating expenses. Again, ang punto po natin, hindi po pamumulitika ang habol dito kung hindi lihiting mong mga tanong na tinatanong din natin sa ibang mga ahensya. At dahil ganito po, again, kinukondin ako ang pambabastos ng Vice Presidente sa taong bayan. No, dahil umaasa siya na magkakaroon ng budget para sa 2026. Mas malaking budget pa nga ang hinihingi. Ngunit hindi man lamang humarap sa institusyong ito upang panindigan at ipaliwanag ang hinihinging budget. No? Kaya at the proper time, Mr. Speaker, ako po, I will move to reduce the budget of the Office of the Vice President for 2026. Ang inihingi po is a total of 902.895 million for 2026. I will move that it be cut only to the PS component. Ibig sabihin, yung pangsweldo lang po sa personnel. Bakit po? Dahil obligado po. No, habang nananatili silang mga empleyado ng gobyerno at isaalang-alang din po natin na ang mga kawani ng Office of the Vice President ay damay lang po. No? Naniniwala tayo na sila ay mga tapat na lingkod bayan, ngunit sa kasamaang palad ay iba ang asal ng kanilang head of office. So I will move that the budget be reduced nearly to the PS of 198.8 million pesos at the proper time, since the head of office herself has not deemed it necessary to defend the budget proposal of her office. So yun lang po, Mr. Speaker at ginoong sponsor, maraming salamat.
Majority Leader.
If I may be recognized, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Tino is now recognized.
Mr. Speaker, there being no other member of the...
Mr. Speaker, I
withdraw, Mr. Speaker.
I have registered that I will be manifesting.
Majority Leader.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, next to interpolate the sponsor, I move to recognize Representative Egay Erice of Caloocan City. So move, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Erice is now recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Sponsor. Dear colleagues, the letter of Vice President Sara Duterte, with all due respect, reeks of hate and impropriety. Considering that the subject matter is simply the proposed budget of her office, instead of addressing the issue with sobriety and professionalism, the letter reflects the lingering bad blood between her and the House, particularly the 19th Congress, and it set conditions that are clearly unreasonable and impossible. However, I firmly believe that the 20th Congress is doing its duty well in providing our people with the best possible budget for fiscal year 2026. Our task is to serve the people, not to be distracted by personal grievances or political animosities. The best way forward is simply to ignore the letter and proceed with the more important task at hand, the approval of the national budget. To ignore the letter and treat it as unimportant is in fact the most professional and dignified way of addressing this matter. Let us stay focused on our mandate and let us not allow personal conflicts to derail the people's budget. Mr. Speaker, mas mabuti pong wag na nating patulan ang sulat. Let us ignore it and take the higher ground of humility. Ang totoong laban ay hindi sa pride ng iilan, kundi sa budget ng bayan. That is where our focus must remain. Kapag may galit, sagot natin ay kababaang loob. Kapag may personal na away, sagot natin ay serbisyo. The higher ground of humility is to proceed with the people's budget, tahimik, diretso, at malinaw. Mr. Speaker, silence can be the strongest statement. By ignoring the letter and moving forward, we show the country that Congress chooses humility over hostility and service over pride. Salamat po.
Well noted, Mr. Speaker. Maraming salamat, distinguished colleague. That is exactly what we are trying to do, to make do and proceed with budget procedures despite her absence, para po makita ng taong bayan na itong kongresong ito ay wala pong animosity, wala pong pag-aaway-away, wala pong pinopolitika dito. That's why we will proceed to craft this whole budget, including the budget of the Office of the Vice President. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much, distinguished colleague.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, Next to interpolate the sponsor, I move to recognize Representative Isidro T. Ungab from the 3rd District, the City of Davao. So move, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Ungab is now recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mine is not an interpellation. This is only a manifestation. I respect the views and opinions of my colleagues, and I salute my good friend, Congressman Irise, for taking the road of statesmanship a bit further. Mr. Speaker, the budget of the Office of the Vice President had suffered so much reductions in 2024 and in 2025. Drastic reductions. I was a member of the previous Congress, the 19th Congress, and even there were two occasions that we were even debating at the committee level to the point of heated debates, perhaps altercation, to the point of disrepresentation, and the former congressman, now Senator Dante Marcoleta. We were debating at the Appropriations Committee level because during the time they were not willing to grant the traditional parliamentary courtesy deserving a higher or co-equal office of government. Mahaba yung discussion. Hindi ko lang maintindihan kung bakit diretso magtatanong yung mga kasama natin to a higher office, which is the office of the Vice President. We argued there. At respect for the due process, no for the budget process. How can we respect the budget process? Let me say this. My only hope is that all things will be corrected in this Congress. The budget process will be corrected in this budget and in this Congress. Why I said that? There are two parts of the annual budget that is presented to us by the executive. First part is the new general appropriations, and the second part is the automatic appropriations. Yung automatic appropriations, hindi na natin yan pinag-uusapan dito because they are already covered by previous special laws debated by our predecessors. Pero in the 2025 budget, the automatic appropriations were mangled. Lumampas. May dagdag bawas. 14 special laws were amended. Kasama na yung PhilHealth law at saka syntax law amended. Ang daming ginalaw. 14 special laws sa automatic appropriations na hindi dapat ginagalaw yan. Pagdating sa new general appropriations, kaya nga tayo tinatawag na General Appropriations Act, New General Appropriations, yun yung ating didiscuss. What comprises the new general appropriations? The program funds and the unprogrammed funds. Program funds, 26 out of 27 departments were mangled beyond recognition. Isa lang ang hindi ginalaw, DBM. Bakit ang lakas ng DBM? 26 were mangled. Dagdag bawas. At saka yung program appropriations nilipat sa unprogram, including the foreign assisted projects. At saka yung fiscal space na naiwan, pinalitan ng mga priority pet projects na wala man lang sa National Development Plan ng ating Republika ng Pilipinas. Pet projects inserted. That's why in this rostrum, I said last August 4, the 2025 budget is the most corrupt budget ever passed by this Congress and perhaps by the entire Philippine history. Ginalaw program appropriations. And program appropriations, may ongoing releases pa. Alam niyo kung anong worry ko? For us, legislators, even the executive, must consider that the number one priority of the Constitution says that education will be given the priority and the highest budget year per year sa 2025 budget na habol ng DPWH ang total infrastructure budget. Kahit ano pang sasabihin nila at binago yung composition, still malaki pa rin ang infrastructure budget kaysa education sector. And they are still releasing from unprogrammed funds. Mas lalong lumaki yung gap between infrastructure and education. Ladies and gentlemen of this House, it is our duty, it is our obligation to keep track, mabantayan yung budget because education is the number one priority of the Republic of the Philippines. Iniwan na ng budget ng infrastructure. Highly questionable pa kasi yung mga releases ang malalaki flood control projects. Where can we get respect from that? Ladies and gentlemen of this House, my personal, yes, OBP. What I am saying is the budget process. How will we get respect? That's why the chairman, Madam, the Appropriations Committee, this Congress have a very big role to perform, to correct the image, to correct the impression. We must be able to come up with an honest-to-goodness budget for 2025. Yun lang po.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Speaker. And we heard the manifestation from the minority and also the manifestation of our distinguished colleague, Congressman Ongab. On my behalf, I will see to it. I'm also a member of the Appropriations Committee. We will produce a budget that is beyond compare, meaning for the benefit of all Filipinos concerned. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, next for a short interpellation and short manifestation, I move to recognize Representative Rennie Louis Co from Kabataan Party List. So move, Mr. Speaker.
The representative from Kabataan Party List is now recognized.
Mr. Speaker, good sponsor, di ko na po masyadong papahabain, but in due time, the Makabayan Bloc will move to reduce the budget of the Office of the Vice President in light of these new developments. Sa bahagi lang po natin, ang manifestation ko lang po, now is not the time for protection, now is not the time for immunities, now is not the time for conditions. No? Ang kailangan ng taong bayan, transparency, paliwanag. The Filipino people deserve an acceptable explanation. We deserve better. With this po, Mr. Chair, good sponsor, I move to terminate the interpellations for the budget of the Office of the Vice President for the 2026 budget. So moved, Mr. Chair.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, on the part of the majority, we join the minority in the motion to terminate the interpellations on the proposed budget on the Office of the Vice President. So move, Mr. Speaker.
There's a motion. There's a motion to terminate the budget deliberation of the Office of the Vice President. Is there any objection? Hearing none, motion approved. Majority Leader.
Thank you. Thank
Motion
you,
to
Mr.
suspend.
Speaker.
Mr. Speaker.
Session suspended.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for the latest hot news of the press.